Today, we check out musical cameos and Nickelodeon shows. Check it. What's up, Inner Tube? My throat's a little under the weather and I'm kinda down with the sickness. But anyway, topic at hand. If you grew up watching Nickelodeon like I did, or you're still a kid watching it today, you probably noticed from time to time that Nick has had its share of cameos in their TV shows. And today we're going to take a look at just that, settling on just the musical cameos. To be fair, I'm going to exclude shows like All That in the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, where musical guests were kind of a given and kind of a staple, as well as the more older, adulty shows from the Nick at Night series. However, Nick Jr. is still on the table. So without further ado, let's jump into it. There's no hiding the fact that Jack Black has been kind of a Nickelodeon staple over the years, having hosted the Nick Choice Awards, and that the movie School of Rock, featuring Jack Black as the main protagonist, has been since made into an adaptation series on Nick. Once more is that the School of Rock movie features iCarly star Miranda Cosgrove. Well, in 2010, like 7 or 8 years after the School of Rock movie came out, Jack Black made an awesome cameo on iCarly. What exactly does this actor have anything to do with music? Well, in case you forgot, Jack Black is one half of the most metal band on the planet, Tenacious D. If you don't believe that they're the most metal band, well, in 2011, Tenacious D played a show in New Zealand that actually caused an earthquake and lasted all the way through until headliners the Foo Fighters came on. Backtracking a second, a little side note bonus here for you. In the School of Rock TV series, Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy actually makes a cameo. So that's a little bonus for you. If you've definitely lived in the 90s, or even today, you definitely know the name Tony Hawk. If you've never seen him skate, or don't know who he is, then you have at least played his video games. Now, while Tony may not be a musician per se, his ability through the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series kicked down the door for a lot of kids growing up to tap into new genres of music other than the mainstream radio that was forced down their throat. I knew nothing of bands like the Dead Kennedys, Social D, Dropkick Murphys, or even NoFX before the Tony Hawk Pro series came along. At the height of the Skater's 900 success, yeah, he did a 900, Google it, he guest starred on pretty much every show at the time, from The Simpsons to The Cleveland Show. And for a while, kind of became yet another staple for Nickelodeon, having hosted the Nick Choice Awards, again, and guest starred on a ton of shows on Nick, including Yo Gabba Gabba and Figure It Out. But what I most remember is the iconic Nickelodeon TV show about skateboarding, Rocket Power. It was a long time coming for some skater to be on that show, and for it to be Tony was really awesome. They dedicated an entire show based around him, and it was awesome to see him portrayed as a cartoon. One of the most early 90s Nick shows that I remember watching that wasn't a cartoon at the time was the show Pete and Pete. I knew little to nothing about the special guests on the show at the time, and looking back, it's really rad to see how many they managed to round up, including the likes of Debbie Harry of Blondie, Gordon Gaynor of the Violent Femmes, and David Johansen of the New York Dolls. But to top it all off, and the one I most remember, was the one and only Iggy Pop, who played the character known as Dad James in the show. He was more than just a one-off character posing a cameo, but was actually a show's highlight reoccurring character. I wish now, looking back, that I would have appreciated that more. In the season 2 episode of Spongebob Squarepants, pre-hibernation, guest starred none other than the heavy metal band Pantera. Yeah, Pantera. Now, while they actually didn't appear on the show, their song, Death Rattle, was featured anytime Sandy Cheeks tried to do some stunts. Now that appearance everyone kind of knows about. But here's some other cameos that were actually characters on the show. And through the years, musicians like Gene Simmons from Kiss, who played a giant sea monster, Dee Snider, or Twist's sister, played Angry Jack, David Bowie played Lord Royal Highness, Sebastian Bach played Prince Titan, which were all animated characters on SpongeBob. Definite kudos to those guys for still being kids at heart. Yo Gabba Gabba is one of the most punk shows on TV, and I don't care what anybody says. No lie, deriving its name from the Ramones song Gabba Gabba Hey, and created by Aquabats lead singer Christian Jacobs. That's despite the fact that the show is on Nick Jr., and for the most part has toddler TV overtones, with live action animated sketches and giant furry monster characters. But what stuck out for me is its musical guests. Similar to Sesame Street, but that's a different station. This show has featured over the years the likes of My Chemical Romance, Taking Back Sunday, Devo, the Agrolites, the Aquabats, of course, MGMT, the Flaming Lips, Jimmy Eat World, Weezer, and the Killers, just to name a few. And you know what I say, if you aren't down with Yo Gabba Gabba, then he's got two this one isn't a long one. Already discussed is Kiss's bass guitarist, Gene Simmons, who already popped up on Spongebob. He, with the rest of the band, were also on the animated show The Fairly Odd Parents, in the episode Wishology Part 1. It was kind of a trilogy. But to make this Fairly Odd Parents one a little longer, another more known musical cameo that reoccurred throughout the show was the singer Chip Skylark, who was played by NSYNC's Chris Kirkpatrick. Yeah, pretty awesome. Like I said, he reprised the role in a number of episodes, and it was definitely rad to see him in more than just a one-off. Last, but surely not least, is the one and only Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, playing Donnie in The Wild Thornberrys. From the Day 1 pilot episode in 1998, all the way until season 5 in 2004, to the Thornberrys motion picture movie and sequel / Rugrats crossover movie, where Bruce Willis actually played the voice of Spike from the Rugrats. Yeah, the dog. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers played the little feral boy that was found in the wild. While he didn't say any actual words throughout the show, he still voiced all the insane sounds, grunts, and noises from the character. Hey, thanks for sticking around through my sickness. What is your favorite musician cameo in a cartoon? And we're not just talking Nickelodeon. Let me know down below. Thanks a lot for commenting, and subscribing. You can check out the Pop Punk Dad merch store where you can buy awesome things like that thing right there. It helps out the channel and lets me know that you love me. You can head on over to thepoppunkdad.com for band reviews, interviews, tours, and more. And above all else, stay pop punk. Later.